So hello everyone, welcome here to round number 6 of the 2014B NASA RallyCross Challenge season here on the backstretch of the Talladega Superspeedway in Alabama. It's Josh Mertz bringing you the call, as always, for the Automotive Sports Network tonight. And I'd like to do a quick apology before we get going with the race coverage as to why we did not have an intro. Our MacBook, which we used to develop the intro, got its operating system updated overnight, and the program we use has not been updated yet, so we had to shoot directly to the race coverage. But I know you guys probably don't care, but we figured we would let you know as to why we do not have an intro for this week and probably the next few weeks as we get that program fixed. So here's the seating round, and it's the first time ever that an MRT car is not on the tentative, podium, you could say, for lack of a better word. Dylan Livingood wins his first ever seating round at a 29.826. Tanner Smith, big storyline involving him with a 29.875. Nick Carr's fastest of the Subarus in the private Area 52 racing team, which is owned by Cody Erdman, at a 30.160. Wetz at a 30.2 that is, in the Mitsubishi. Josh Mertz, 4.62. In 5th, Erdman a .581. Obviously, these are all in 30-second brackets. Tristan Hagenstein in 7th, 30.951. Casey Lester, 31.219. Keith Sherman in his first ever race in 2014B, 31.453. And then a fuel pickup issue hindered Daniel Bellamy's chance of a seating round lap, as he could not get out in time. And you see the three MRT cars, they went out first, and I think their grip affected the other drivers because those guys were able to fly that went after them. I think it involves something along with the Bridgestone tires. They lay a lot more rubber down on the track than the Hoosiers or the Michelins or the Pirellis, for example. But anyway, we are going to go on board your quadruple defending World Drivers' Champion for his seating lap round. As we're getting ready, you launch from the Joker lane, so you get a little bit going and cross the start-finish line here at Talladega, and into corner number 1, which is really open compared to on the regular course. Round the hairpin, pin the throttle, juke between the two barriers, which is a lot like Charlotte, over the tabletop jump, down the straightaway, up the dirt hill. Don't hit those tires because you get disqualified. And then this dirt hairpin's the trickiest part, is you have to get the throttle down really early to get grip, past the pit boxes, over the jump, land perfectly, and across the line. Dylan Livingood, fastest in the seating round at a 29.826. That's heat number 1, getting ready to go here for the 6th round of the championship. And coming into this race, it's Erdman, Mertz, Livingood in points. So this could get really interesting. Coming down to the wire here, and this is where Tristan Hagenstein started his race of 5 consecutive podiums. So here we go. That's your grid on the front row. Livingood, Bellamy, Smith, and Lester for the first heat of round number 6 here, and Nick Carr's the bottom of your picture, car number 35. Once again, we have to deal with the helicopter, but it's lights out, and away we go, and off the line, Livingood gets the jump. Smith in his private Mitsubishi in 2nd. Then it's the Revolution Junior car of Lester. Rounding the first turn for the first time, it's Livingood, Smith, who has left the Citroen team. There are now 2 manufacturer teams in NASA Rallycross, and Livingood rounds the hairpin on the Joker to lead after the first lap. This puts Smith in 2nd, Lester 3rd. Carrs and Bellamy are having an issue in 4th and 5th. And now Livingood has to run 3 regular laps as per the regulations, and there is Tanner Smith in his private Mitsubishi. Very disappointed, especially with the engine failure last week in his Citroen C4, so he's unveiled his old Mitsubishi. Here's the helicopter. It's going to be close between Smith and Livingood to take 2 laps to go here. And Smith trying to catch the quadruple defending champion. Smith, I believe, has 2 podiums this season. Not very good in the Citroen, so like I mentioned before, got rid of his Citroen back in a Mitsubishi, where this, I believe, started his 2nd win. It was one of his 2 wins, and it was one of the 7 wins that Mitsubishi got. As we take the white flag here in Talladega, it's Livingood and Smith, as Bellamy is battling with Lester for 3rd, and Nick Carr's having issues in the Area 52 Subaru in 5th. As Living Good pulling away 29.256 to Smith's 30.167 around the final corner. Living Good will get his first ever pole position in NASA Rallycross as he wins heat number 1. Smith transfers through for the first time this season. Then it's Lester best of the rest, and Bellamy will come over the jump to finish 4th in car number 125, as Nick Cars is in the 5th position in car number 35. As that'll say something, I believe this is Tanner Smith's first transfer in a heat race. I believe he's been in the LCQ all the rest of the races, so that should tell you something. As consistency with that Citroen was not very friendly with him. And here we go. Heat number 2, it's Wetz on pole. Hagenstein in 2nd. The familiar purple car is gone for Mertz, and Erdman in 4th. 5th, I believe, will be Keith Sherman in car number 15. There he is in his first ever race this season. And, yeah, so the purple car is gone for Mertz and has now been replaced with a black and purple car. I believe this is maybe for the night races or for all of them. Unsure about that. But it's MRT for 2nd through 4th, and this was the race in 2013C where they unveiled these Subarus. They were Citroen before, and you notice Citroen has lost 2 contracts in the past 4 seasons. So, who knows what'll happen. Getting ready for heat number 2, and Erdman jumps, and it's lights out, and away we go from the helicopter. Hagenstein battling Mertz, and to begin the first lap, it's Mertz leading in car number 81, but he runs it wide. Hagenstein tries to fight him. Erdman gives him a bump, and the 3 teammates are under a blanket. Wetz is in 4th. Hagenstein really hits the tire wall. Wetz hits the wall. Hagenstein having issues in car number 83 as he leads his teammate into the Joker, but his teammate takes the fight to him, and Sherman is now in the 3rd position. As we begin lap number 2, it is Erdman leading, followed by Hagenstein, Sherman, Mertz, Wetz. And you saw this 2 weeks, for the past 3 weeks, I should say, with Erdman leading. He's pretty much unstoppable. Can he continue his winning streak, or will somebody else win this week? We'll have to see later on, but it's Sherman, or Erdman, Hagenstein, Sherman. Mertz takes to the Joker, so let's see where this puts the double champion. Wetz is having issues in car number 71, so he's out of the picture, and we take 2 laps to go already, and he's nowhere close. It's Mertz, Erdman in the transfer spots, 81 and 82. You can see a better look of the Subaru there. And he has a big gap over his teammates, and there is that black and purple Subaru. I don't know why he decided to change his livery, but Josh Mertz owns the team. Josh Mertz does what he wants on his team. As back to the helicopter camera, we take the white flag here in Talladega. Erdman 2nd. Let's see if Wetz, no. Wetz got passed by Sherman, so Sherman 3rd, Wetz 4th. Hagenstein in 5th. Looks like he's been having issues in car number 83. Car number 81. He didn't win a heat last week. It's been hit and miss on heat wins all season. But not today. Mertz will win heat number 2 convincingly over his teammate Erdman. Then it'll be Wetz best of the rest in the 3rd spot. Sherman 4th, and Hagenstein will come home in the 5th position for MRT Jr. And now the 3-lap LCQ, as it's better late than never before we get in the LCQ. The heats are already in the books, but this LCQ is 3 laps, and the top 2 will advance through to the final, as we have 10 cars today. So this is a 6-car LCQ. 3 laps, top 2 advance, and then the final will be 6 drivers, the 4 we just saw, plus the 2 that win this race, and that'll be 8 laps and Joker twice. Like I said, better late than never. So we got that out of the way. And now we're about to get this race out of the way. And this will be good. As once we figure out, I believe Nick Cars is having issues with the transmission or something in car number 35. As Bellamy's gotten on track. But here's the LCQ grid. Row 1, it's Nick Cars, who is not there. Wetz, Sherman, Hagenstein. And then on the back row, it is Bellamy and Lester, as we don't have a graphic for that. We only have the 2 row graphics, unless it is the final, you guys should know. So cars, we're waiting for cars to see if he'll potentially pull up in the next 10 seconds or so. Waiting, hearing from race control, counting down for Nick Cars. So it looks like we'll only have 5 cars in this LCQ. Remember, it is 3 laps long. So realistically, you have to get a good start and take your Joker to get clear track. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck behind other cars. And the way this track is, like, really, you have to get a good launch because there's nowhere to pass. It's way too tight. As here we go, revving them up for the 6th LCQ of the season. The top 2 will advance, and it's lights out, and away we go. And off the line, Whole Shot will go to Wetz at the line, then it's Hagenstein to begin lap number 1 of 3. Rounding the hairpin, Wetz pushes Hagenstein wide. And it is Wetz Hagenstein leading from the helicopter. Wetz goes to the Joker. So does Hagenstein. Does not. Sherman does not. Lester does not. Bellamy does, and he hits the tire wall. He's out. Hagenstein hits the wall, and he hits Lester. And that will send Hagenstein immediately to the penalty box, as that turned him more than 90 degrees. Sherman second. Hagenstein third. Lester 4th. Bellamy has parked it into the tire barrier in 5th. So he is out of it. And penalty box 83 has been repeated on the radio multiple times. I don't think he is taken to the penalty box, as we are taking the white flag already here in Talladega. Wetz leading, Lester second, but Sherman has not taken his penalty box yet, as Hagenstein now in the 4th position. As from the helicopter, there is Wetz in car number 71. Lester second, but it'll put Sherman through, I believe. There goes Sherman in car number 15. Wetz over the jump, but he wins the LCQ. Sherman will be in the 2nd position. Hagenstein in 3rd, very angry in car number 83. 4th Lester, and 5th is Bellamy. We're going to have to review something relatively quickly. I think we missed it for you guys. Between Sherman and Hagenstein, Hagenstein, I'm hearing over the radio, has been thrown to 10th overall for not going to the penalty box. So move Lester technically up to 3rd, Sherman up to 4th, and Cars up to Bellamy, I should say. Well, you'll get it in the results. But we are waiting to see what we need to review, trying to find it here. I think it involved Sherman and Hagenstein on the regular course, and I believe we missed it. Trying to see here, I don't believe... Apparently we did not need to review anything. I think I got something confused involving Hagenstein and Sherman. Something did happen. We might have missed it completely in a heat race. But I apologize for that, and we will be sure to find it eventually. So cars are getting ready for the 6th round of the championship here in Talladega. That's the grid. Living Good, Smith, Mertz, Erdman, then it's Wetz and Sherman. The 5th and 6th cars here in the final. Getting ready for round number 6. And it's lights out, and away we go. Mertz misses the start yet again in his Subaru. It's Living Good with the Whole Shot in car number 51. Then it is Smith. Smith bumps Erdman. Mertz goes through, tries to take the fight on Erdman, but he can't do it. And it's Living Good. Erdman, Mertz. Living Good runs to the Joker. So does Wetz. So does Smith. So the 3 Mitsubishis in the race go to the Joker. The 3 Subarus do not. Living Good, Wetz, Smith. Then it's Erdman, followed by Mertz and Sherman. So Erdman following these 3 are possibly in the lead. Erdman runs it wide, gets bumped by his teammate, and they're blocking the track. Mertz gets flipped over. Sherman has to stop, and I believe that's it. That's a red flag. The track was blocked. There goes Living Good. He has to make evasive action. I don't think race control has gotten the call down to the drivers yet, but that is a red flag. That is. Red flag here in Talladega as teammates came together who are leading the points 1 and 2. So We'll regrid them again and get ready for the first attempt at a race restart here in Talladega. Once we find our camera. There's the grid. Living Good, Smith, Mertz, Erdman, Wetz, Sherman. Getting ready for the first of 3 attempts at a race restart. It's a complete race restart for round number 6. Revving him up, and it's lights out, and away we go. And off the line, Living Good possibly with the whole shot at the line. He does. Then it's Smith, Mertz, and Erdman. They hang back. Living Good runs it wide. Mertz tries to take the fight to him. Mertz bangs Living Good through the chicane, nearly 3 wide. That's not going to work. Mertz is sideways. Living Good hits the wall. That's another red flag. That's another red flag. As 2 of the 3 title protagonists have crashed. Smith already knows it's a red flag. And Living Good hits Mertz. Oh, that's not very nice. So we are going to regrid them here for the second attempt at a race restart. And this race has always produced calamity on these starts because it's a lot like Charlotte, where the drivers just have to go on the start. Otherwise, you're just going to wad them up. So the field is back the way we had it, and we are getting ready to go for round number 6. 3 Mitsubishis, 3 Subarus, revving them up. Attempt number 2, and it's lights out, and away we go. Living Good gets the whole shot in car number 51. No surprise, and it's Erdman in second, Smith in third. He gets bumped by Wetz, bumps Living Good, bumps Erdman. That's another red flag. Once again, we have to do another red flag. Wow. If this had kept going, it'd be Sherman in the lead. But it's not. So, rounding the corner again. And we have to do another attempt at a race restart. And this is potentially, I think, yeah, this would be the last attempt at a race restart. So if we can get farther than turn 1, that would be fantastic. But who knows what'll happen here. So I say that every single week, but it's really the only thing you can say with a series that's unpredictable as this. When you have 4 constructor cars and 2 privateers, the constructor championship may be dwindling, but the driver's championship has not. Living Good has to reset his launch control. That's why he's creeping up in car number 51. So under the lights here in Talladega for the final race restart. 6 drivers for 8 laps. Who knows what will happen in the tight confines of the Talladega Superspeedway backstretch. We've seen mayhem, we've seen calamity. Who will get on the podium? Will it be a Mitsubishi? Will it be Subarus? Will it be a Revolution? Will it be MRT? 8 laps, and it's all to play for, and it's lights out, and away we go, off the line, Living Good. Will we see at the start-finish line? Does he get the whole shot? Yes. Then it's Erdman. Then it's Mertz. Mertz 3 wide in the middle. Will he try to take the fight to him? Yes. Smith bumps him. Mertz is around in car number 81, just like a couple seasons ago here. So now, it is Erdman doing the opposite of what Living Good does. Living Good goes to the Joker in car number 51. So does Smith. So the 2 Mitsubishis go to the Joker, hearing over radio, 13 to penalty box. Mertz goes as well. Erdman, Sherman, Wetz do not. 13 to penalty box. Living Good in the lead. Smith does not. I thought he was almost going to clout the tire barrier. As they both again go to the Joker. All 3 cars go to the Joker, so they will be on the same strategy as we begin lap number 3 already for Dylan Living Good and Tanner Smith and Mertz. Sherman goes to the Joker. Move him to 4th. Erdman, Wetz. Those 2 have not taken Jokers. As Smith has, I thought he did clout the tire barrier, and he has not taken a visit to the penalty box. He said over the open radio, I hit the wall, it doesn't matter if I go to the penalty box. I believe he said that. So, potentially, as we begin lap number 4, Smith will not take a visit to the penalty box. Sherman now 2nd, Mertz is in 3rd, Smith 4th, Erdman 5th, Wetz 6th. The 3 drivers that are The two that can play into this strategy are Wetz and Erdman because they have not taken their jokers yet. As Living Good will go over the jump for the 5th time and begin lap number 5 as the crossed flags are being shown. Sherman tried to get by Mertz. It did not work. Erdman has taken to the joker, so he is in 4th still. As Mertz defensively driving to try and prevent Sherman from taking the 2nd spot, as Mertz needs all the points he can. He's ahead of his teammates, so that's all that matters. As we begin lap number 6 for Dylan Livingood. Erdman takes it to the joker, so this can potentially get good. No, it can't. 3 to go, and it's now Livingood, Erdman, Mertz your podium. The 3 championship protagonists are in the top 3 positions in the race. There's the word, I should say. As 4th is Sherman, 5th is Tanner Smith, and 6th is Wetz. Livingood rounds the hairpin. He has been uncontested because of his joker, his clean start, and his 2 jokers to begin this race. All he has been doing is driving for himself, and we take 2 laps to go, and we saw this in Negus last season where he was so far ahead of the MRT drivers we forgot he was leading, and we forgot that he was taking the white flag. I miscalled him anyway. Wetz runs it wide. And he takes the 3rd spot from Mertz, so this is going to be a implication in the championship unless Mertz can do something. He did it last week in St. Eustache, and he's on the outside, and he makes the move work on Chris Wetz for the 2nd consecutive week and move him up to 3rd. And if you don't want a driver to win a championship, you don't want him to make moves like that, as the white flag is in the air for Livingood. Erdman is 2nd, Mertz is now to 3rd. What a move by Josh Mertz in car number 81. We saw that happen on the outside in the joker last week in St. Eustache. That will help him in the championship because that gives him 2 more points. As rounding the final corner, it's been since Valkenswaard, and if you want to hear something, your new all-time winner of the NASA RallyCross Challenge is Dylan Livingood as his 11th career victory over Cody Erdman, and Mertz succeeds that title for the first time in 2.5 years, finishing in the 3rd spot. Wetz 4th, Sherman 5th, and Tanner Smith is in 6th, and there he is, your new all-time race winner in NASA Rallycross, Dylan Livingood, with 11 race wins, as he wins today in Talladega, I should say. But the Canadian always trying to do new things, and he did a bunch of new things today, but something he didn't do new was win. There is the results, and we'll get to the championship in a moment. Dylan Livingood, your winner. Erdman 2nd. Mertz wins his heat. He gets 16 points in 3rd. Livingood 21. Wetz 4th with 13 points. Sherman 5th. Smith 6th. 7th Lester. 8th Bellamy. 9th Cars. 10th Hagenstein. Tanner Smith already finished 6th in the final, but he was rethrown, I guess you could say, to 6th because he did not go to the penalty box as he was told to, because he did turn Mertz on the start, and it would have blocked the track on a final race restart. Hagenstein thrown to the back in the LCQ for not taking to the penalty box either. As the Drivers' Championship, Erdman still leads over 4 points, but it's a new driver this time. It is now Livingood over 4 points. 5 points, I should say, back to Mertz. And if you see this, those 3 are gone. It's over a race to Chris Wetz in 4th with 77 points. Smith with 75. Hagenstein 68. Ironically, the 81 and 83 were swapped last season with, I believe, the same exact point totals, as Mertz had a disappointing championship defense last season. Lester 52. Bellamy 44. Cars 28. 26 go to Robert Pankow, who was last in Germany. The Constructors' Championship, Subaru MRT 201, Revolution 175. Ignore Citroen, but we still have to keep their points total there as a constructor team. And the Manufacturers' Championship, Subaru 118. They have not finished lower. Their highest car has not finished lower than 2nd this season. So it's a lot like 2012B for those guys. Mitsubishi 103, Citroen, who did not have a car, 66, and Ford has 47. And we're going to take this bit of time here. Once we gather all of our points together, we're going to go over, because it's the mid-race point, we don't have graphics for them, but the Privateer Cup, 100 to Hagenstein, 73 to Lester, Bellamy 53. I think that's wrong. Bellamy has more than 53, but he's still in 3rd. And realistically, all the other drivers have only run the first race of the season and maybe the 3rd race of the season. As we're going to pull up all of our spreadsheets here. The points we did go over were drivers, manufacturers, constructors, privateers, the nations halfway through the championship, Germany 118, Canada 99, USA 82, Norway 75, Netherlands 71. Those are the top 5. The Endurance Cup, which will not be returning until Riverside in 2 weeks' time, Erdman 20, Smith 17. We had Ben Atkins finish 3rd in Island Rally with 15, Mertz Livingood 13, Wetz 12, Batista 10, Lester 9, Messina 8, and Hagenstein 7. But remember, anything can happen in Riverside, and it generally does. The Tires Championship halfway through this season, Bridgestone 118, Hoosier 101, Michelin 77, BF Goodrich 43, Pirelli 15, and Toyo Tires with Tanner Smith now have 11 points in 6th. And I believe those are all of the points totals, as we pulled up the wrong graphic as we went to see our points spreadsheets. So that random graphic that appeared on your right-hand side of your screen, I hope you ignored. But anyway, round number 6 is now in the books. And it's all about Negus next week. As who knows what will happen. As that's the next points round. We might be in California at the Stadium Rally in Los Angeles for our non-points race. Keep you posted on the ASN page for that, because we might just go get all the points rounds done and then go back to California after Irwindale, seeing as how we're going to be in California a few miles away in Irwindale to run the All-Star race after that. But congratulations to Livingood, your new all-time race winner in the NASA RallyCross Challenge, as we'll see you next week from Colorado and the Negus Circuit, Livingood's home track. But until then, so long, everyone.